Good morning, everybody. We're going to start off worship like a song, with a song, not like a song, as we've been doing. Both, hopefully. This is number 368, Now Let Us Sing. Please join us in singing.
We recognize that when we gather here, we occupy land seized from the Western Abenaki people by European colonizers. The Abenaki are still here, still hunting, fishing, foraging, weaving, laughing, dancing, praying, surviving, and thriving. As we gather here, we pay honor to their ancestors and to future generations by committing to build a more inclusive, just, and respectful space for all. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, all those of you here in the sanctuary, our friends on Zoom, and those of you who will find us later on YouTube. Good morning to you all. How are you all doing almost a week after that spectacular gift from the universe, the eclipse? Are you still carrying a feeling of awe, of wonder, a feeling of smallness, a feeling of bigness, maybe a fear that the sun will never come back? The thing that amazed me most about the eclipse was how thin a slice of sun was necessary to bring the light back to the world. That was quite amazing. I was carrying a feeling of awe when I went to the bookstore to pick up a new book by my favorite author, and there, facing out on the shelves, was a book just called Awe. That's the whole title, Awe. So I had to buy it. So there it is, coming with me on our travels for the next couple of weeks. Wherever you are relative to awe today, welcome to this Sunday service at Champlain Valley Unitarian Universalist Society. CVUUS exists to spiritually nourish, challenge, and sustain people of all ages and circumstances so that they might lead lives of meaning, integrity, and service. Whoever you are, whatever your beliefs, your origins, your way of being, your spiritual journey, you are welcome here. If you are new to our community, we invite you to sign, I used to say the guest book, but then I realized there was no book. We invite you to sign one of these blue cards on the table in the lobby so that we might get better acquainted with you. And another card in the lobby are these pink cards from the Caring Network. If you are in need of a little caring or know of anyone who might benefit from such, this is a confidential way to let the Caring Network know to reach out to you or someone you know. We encourage you all to check out Social Hour downstairs after the service, where Poppy, our Director of Religious Exploration, and the kids, the children, are preparing snacks for us. I predict there will be surprises. Just a thought. And after snacks, you're all invited to stay for the stewardship lunch at 12 o'clock. My name is Abi Sessions. I'm a member of this congregation and a member of the worship team, and today it is my pleasure to be the worship associate for our contract minister, Christina Sillari. Maybe she thought I forgot she was there. Here she is.
Thank you, Abby. If you have a cell phone, please turn it off. So this morning, we're going to start with a responsive reading. I know some of you don't like them. Anyhow, this really goes well with our service today. It's called Stand by This Faith by Olympia Brown. And I just want to share a little bit about Olympia Brown before we share the responsive reading. So Olympia Brown was ordained a Universalist minister in 1863. The first woman to achieve full ministerial standing recognized by a denomination. She plunged into the fight to win women the right to vote. And when the suffrage amendment was finally passed in 1919, she was one of the few original suffragists still alive. She voted in her first presidential election at the age of 85. So this responsive reading we're about to read came from a sermon she preached in 1920 at the age of 85. And I just wonder how it will sit with us today. I will read the first line, and then you're going to read the italicized line on the screen. Stand by this faith, work for it, and sacrifice for it. Which has comforted us in sorrow, strengthened us for noble duty, and made the world beautiful. Do not demand immediate results, but rejoice that we are worthy to be entrusted with this great message. That you are strong enough to work for a great true principle without counting the cost. Thank you.
I would like to call Steve Meyer and Priscilla Bremser up to light the chalice this morning in the midst of Stewardship Month. Many people have worked to keep CVUUS financially healthy. And two of the stars of stewardship are Steve Meyer and Priscilla Bremser. They have both worked diligently over many years, often quietly behind the scenes, sometimes from the podium, sometimes from the chair of the board meetings, building the future of our congregation. We're deeply grateful for that. Thank you. Now, please join in reading the chalice lighting together. Let us be like that first hint of green, renewed by the warmth of the sun's rays, and ready to emerge with a new energy, ready to face the day. We light this chalice to bring a glimmer of that warmth into our space. Now please join us in singing hymn number 38, Morning Has Broken.
Delightful, as always. Hello, everybody. So this is the last Sunday for the spring of Jet Pig being here with me. That's right. Let's hear it for Jet Pig. To help us all explore the proposed shared UU values that will be voted on this June at General Assembly. I'm still totally out of breath from running up the stairs. Sorry about that. So, has anybody seen Jet Pig? Yes. Where? Ooh, okay. All right. Nice hiding spot. Okay, so we've gone through love is at the center. We've gone through 5 other values. Jet Pig stands for, right, helps us remember the values, right, JETPI. I don't know if the values. Nope. Okay. Oh, yeah. Mary's holding up the value sign. Thanks, Mary. We might have another. Oh, yeah. Thank you. So all that's left is G. So let's find out what G is. You can all silently guess what you think the value is that is G. I think it's gravy. Jet Pig, may I open up your backpack to get the card out? Okay. Yeah, I won't throw anything away. Okay. All right. Okay. G is not gravy. It is generosity, to be generous. We cultivate a spirit of gratitude, being thankful, and hope. We covenant to freely and compassionately share our faith, presence, so presence meaning being there, not presence, like opening a present. Although, the other week, Jet Pig talked about how each of us is a present, so I guess it means both presents. And resources. Our generosity connects us to one another in relationships of interdependence and mutuality, right? So helping each other and getting help from each other, right? So, all right, so Jet Pig, what do you got to help us out to learn about this? Oh, the little yellow, okay. So it's hard to see, but there's a little yellow thing poking out. So they are saying to pull that out. Uh-oh. Maybe somebody in the front row over there could help me out. Just up the middle of the aisle. Yeah. Keep going. We'll tell you when social hour is at the end. Whoa, oh, I think. Oh, that's it? Okay. Thank you, Ellen. All right, a little card. As always, Jet Pig likes to make things interesting. I got you all something to help you remember the values. Everyone, even those in worship and tech teaming and in the kid area, but not in stacked chairs. Laura, my darling, I'm talking to you. Feel under the front of your chair. So, Laura, if you want a present, just find a chair that nobody's sitting in. Right, Jet Pig said they were here very, very late doing this with help because it's hard to use the tape. Whatever. Jet Pig also said, if you have somebody in your family who is not here right now, who you think would enjoy one of these presents, if you look for a chair that nobody's sitting in, I believe Jet Pig put one under every single chair. And I think they held some back in case, you know, there's anybody else. What? Oh, if for some bizarre reason you do not want to keep your pig, I don't know why that would be, there is a box. Ollie, is there a brown box on the floor next to you? Yes. That brown box, if you could just stick it on the little table there, you may deposit your pig there and it will go to a needy child somewhere. Maybe here next week. Anything else? No? No, they just say thank you. Oh, they also want you to know that they are not going back to Boston. Their family is still in Boston, so there'll be times that they'll be there, maybe for the summer. They do camp. They go to camp, to be clear. They don't run camp. Soccer. Very competitive soccer camp. What am I saying? Oh, but they'll be here, right? So when they're not in Boston, they're going to stick around here. So this isn't the end of Jet Pig forever, but we've reached the end of the values. So Jet Pig, thanks a lot for helping us out. That was really great. And as part of RE today, as all of RE today, the kids and the adults from RE are putting our UU faith into action by acting out generosity and prepping for social hour. So hence why we ran up here. And so we'll see you later. We're gonna go back down. So my friends, everyone who was just down, we're about to head down again.
I just want to give a hello to our Zoomy virtual friends. How many folks do we have on Zoom? 14 people, yay. Glad you're with us this morning. So, oh my gosh, Do you see who I see? I see Reverend Tricia. She happens to be here today. She's going to help me with our pathways to connection.
Can we just be buddies here where everybody can see us?
Oh, we need a mic. Can we use your mic?
We each exist separately as well as together. So this is a treat and rare. Thank you for inviting me.
Oh, I think it's my turn. Okay, so we have some really exciting pathways to connection. The first exciting news is that Tom Morgan, the MSC, which is the Ministerial Fellowship Committee, has approved the waiver, which Tom needed, that we needed to apply for so that Tom can officially be our intern. And this is really exciting because of what Tom's going to do, number one, which is a hybrid ministry, which is a new internship for the Unitarian Universalist Association, half parish ministry and half community ministry. And that ministry is going to benefit CVUUS immensely. And it's the first time you all ever have had an intern. Tom will start next month in May. So we look forward to that. That's Tom. Our next thing is circle suppers. If you have not attended a circle supper and you would like to, you can go on the website. The message about them and the link to that is on the website and also in the last e-blast. You can also talk to Jean today, and if you still want to host one, can people host them still? Yes. And today, after the service, there's a big circle supper. It's actually a lunch, and you're all invited. And then we have our new to UU classes, and I think I'm going to let Tricia talk about them.
Thank you, Christina. So the welcoming team, until recently known as the membership team, Mike, would you just stand up for just a second, representing this amazing group? We've been talking for months this whole year about how to bring to CVUUS at this time of transition an opportunity for people who are new to the congregation to learn about Unitarian Universalism and learn about this congregation. And I just want to say that we mean it when we say if you're not new and you'd still like to learn more about Unitarian Universalism and maybe about this congregation, you're welcome too. So there are 2 sessions, part 1, part 2, 2 in person, one next Sunday and the Sunday after that, the 21st and the 28th. That will be in person and they will start at noon, and I'm gonna be there for those. And then 2 on Zoom, you Zooming people and others, on Wednesday nights, April 24th and May 1st, and those are at 7. Don't worry about remembering the details because all of that is on the website and in the blast as well. And Christina is gonna be there for at least part of that.
Thanks. And our last pathway to connection is a congregational meeting, an important event, because congregational meetings are meetings where members of the congregation vote on important things. So that meeting is on Zoom next Sunday evening at 7 p.m. And that meeting is to vote on doing some work on this building, important work. What's interesting about all of these pathways to connection is they all tie in to stewardship, right?
Thank you, Reverend Christina. We were talking about this just before the service, and Christina said that to me. She said, all of this stuff about the heat pumps and the roof, those are the big projects that are really on the drawing board, and the new to UU classes, stewardship, and the getting together in circles for supper or lunch or whatever time is also about stewardship. And by that, I mean, and I'm going to talk more about this next week, the stewards of anything, but certainly the stewards of a congregation, are the people who take care of it. That's what being a steward means. And lots of us do that in different ways. And my hope is that everything having to do with stewardship has to do with money, it has to do with the building, and it has to do, there's a bird up there looking at me and listening carefully, and has to do with taking care of this congregation and frankly taking care of each other. So my hope is that you will stay to lunch today if you can, and because not only is there great food, but you will get to know somebody you don't know already, and you will get to talk about this congregation and what you love about it and what you hope for. And when you make your pledge, your financial pledge to support the congregation in the coming year, I hope that you do that out of a place of generosity and also hope and also love. It is my pleasure to give you an update, now officially 1 week into the stewardship campaign. We are of the 4-week campaign, and we are pretty darn close. Mary Hadley's probably going to question my arithmetic, but as far as I can tell, pretty darn close to 1/4 of the way through the campaign. Just over, actually almost $101,000 has been pledged so far, and 700 of those dollars are specifically for the We've Got You Covered extra cushion for the pledge drive, because not everybody can make the financial pledge that they would like to. So do it out of love and questioning in good ways and hope. Because the question I want you all to be pondering, and you too, and me too, is what are we hoping for? What are we hoping for? Oh, I almost forgot. Mary, will you once again show everybody this extraordinarily gorgeous poster, which you've seen on your letter and you've seen it in other places too. And I believe that the plan is that Mary's got stickers, and they're colorful stickers, and she's going to put stickers on the poster. It's so hot off the press, I think they wouldn't have stuck if you'd put them on already. But the poster will have stickers on them to represent the different pledges from different households in this congregation. Okay, I did it all. Thank you.
Can I add one little thing? So you connected all of the pathways to connection to stewardship except one. Tom. And you know, having an intern costs money. We pay Tom a stipend. It's the rule of the UUA. We don't get any free ministry. So that's another, well, we don't. I mean, except from all of you. You're all ministering to each other all the time. But when I talk about professional ministry, which Tom will be providing, that's another addition to what's happening next year.
And it connects to love?
Oh, yeah. You know why? We could just keep talking. It's very dangerous. It connects to love because Tom's ministry in the greater community is going to spread, is love in action.
And is Tom going to do all that loving by himself?
No.
This is why we like working together, because we can just never tell where we're going to go. But I'm going to sit down.
Okay, all right, goodbye. Thank you, Tricia.
follow a comedy act like that. This is a time in our service when we take the offering and we share our offering with an organization either locally, nationally, or internationally who does work that reflects our values. And this month we are sharing our offering with the Climate Economy Action Center of Addison County. Doesn't get much more local than that. Local leaders brought this organization into being a few years ago, 5 years ago. Their mission is to promote a healthy economy through deep reductions in greenhouse gas emissions in Addison County. They educate, they advocate, they're a very active group. And we just happen to have 3 board members of the Climate Economy Action Center in our congregation and present today. Steve Meyer, Richard Hopkins, and Jean Terwilliger. If you would like more information about this organization, we have 3 awesome sources right here in the room today. So please be as generous as you are able. We have one yellow card milestone and passage today from Pat Todd. She says, Ginny Mosier, who is a longtime member of this congregation, one of our honored elders, is dealing with a severe illness. She lives at Eastview. Please keep her in your prayers. I am sure she would appreciate receiving a note or a card from you, says Pat. So if you're interested in that, her address is in the directory, I'm sure. or if you don't have access to that, just plain Eastview would probably get it to her. Thank you, Pat. We all have milestones and passages, joys and concerns from a week of living, and Christina will lead us in a time of contemplation.
I would like just to take a moment for us to close our eyes, tune into our hearts, and send, whether you know her or not, sending your thoughts and prayers, healing thoughts and prayers to Ginny Mosher, who may be on Zoom with us right now. May Ginny find comfort and peace in the days ahead. For our contemplation this morning, I offer you a Cherokee prayer. O Great Spirit, help me always to speak the truth quietly, to listen with an open mind when others speak, and to remember the peace that may be found in silence. Let us hold silence together, marked by the ringing of the bell. I love our faith. It has held me and shaped me and inspired me and educated me for most of my adult life, beginning in my 20s, when my trans partner and I found a home in a UU church. Our faith has made me the person I am today, wiser and bolder than I would be in its absence. My husband, a Unitarian Universalist from birth, and I passed our faith on to our daughter, Selena. It has refined and deepened her amazing being, full of love and acceptance, passionate about justice, in love with the earth, and committed to working with communities to create a better world. Perhaps because I grew up with a faith, even though I rejected it. Perhaps because I need to be around people who both share and challenge my ideas and values. Maybe because I need to be in relationship with people I would never know. Perhaps because I am a seeker of justice and a lover of mystery. Maybe because I don't want to be told what to do or what to believe. Perhaps because I know I can't live without religion. Something that binds me to something deeper and greater than myself. I could have chosen other traditions, another path. What about you? Why did you choose this faith? Comfortable, thank you. Deeper acceptance. Good fit. Challenging, yes. I find it very challenging to be a UU. Yes, grounded in the best aspirations of our culture. Relevant. Yes, nothing I have to believe. Dale? Other liberal religious thinkers, yes. Our principles, yes. Both held and freed. Gives me the chills. I don't think I'm going to have to actually preach the rest of this sermon because you're saying everything that I want to say. Anything else before I continue? Yes?
Kind community.
Kind community.
We walk and talk.
Sometimes. Yes? Music. Amen, amen. So, part of the reason I chose our faith is because it grows me. It grows my mind and my heart, and it challenges me. It challenges my privilege, my notions about God, my whiteness, my ego. I am a Unitarian Universalist. Feels good to say. Can you say it? Go ahead. You don't have to say it if you don't believe you are, but say it again. So just feel that. How does it feel to say that or not to say it? Does it resonate? Does it feel good? Maybe you're new and you don't even know what a Unitarian Universalist is, right? Well, we're all very different. We know that. So somebody mentioned the principles, and that's key because the principles are a roadmap of our values, our shared values. And if you want to read them, and if you've never seen them or you need them, they're actually at the beginning of the hymnal. I don't know if you knew that. Our principles are powerful and not always easy to practice because they invite us to live with the deepest ethical and moral standards. And if we as an association adopt Article 2 at our annual General Assembly in June, then JPIG will have a permanent home here. So what are those values? Do you remember them? Can we say, or what's one? Justice. Equity. Transformation. Pluralism. Interdependence. Generosity. And what's at the center? Someone probably already said it. Love. These values remind us what is possible, right? In, not just in our congregations, but in the entire country, right? And what is needed of humanity. They help spread the good news. And that's what the word gospel means. Good news. For me, the most freeing and yet the most challenging aspect of our faith is that we are creedless. We hold no dogma. Instead, we're invited to develop our own beliefs about the mystery of the cosmos, follow our own spiritual path. And that's why a lot of us are here, but that's also why our faith is so small. It's difficult, soul-searching work to create our own theology. And we are a religion. If you understand religion as our human response to the dual reality of being alive and having to die. And this thing about dying that we will all encounter is not set in stone for us. We are not promised an afterlife with some saving deity, or a place in heaven, or eternity of the soul. We need to figure it out. So how do we figure it out? The wisdom of our faith tells us that we draw upon 6 sources, right? Also in the hymnal. The first source is our own direct experience of the universe. Our spiritual journey begins with where we are and who we are. Our faith does not ask us to change our beingness or our beliefs. It invites us to use our experiences of awe and humility to understand the mystery of being. We are also wise enough to allow ourselves to be moved by prophetic people, our second source. Leaders who invite us to challenge evil and injustice with love and compassion, like Harriet Tubman, Mahatma Gandhi, Dorothy Day, Jesus, Susan B. Anthony, the Dalai Lama, Dr. King, to name a few. And it's okay if we are not clear about our theology or beliefs. This not knowing is a gift. Letting there be room for not knowing is the most important thing of all. says the contemporary Buddhist teacher Pema Chodron. Our curiosity and questioning are gifts we pass on to our children. And here's another thing I love about our faith. We draw upon the wisdom of world religions, our third source, because we know that at the heart of every religion are kernels of truth. And we will never let go of the wisdom of our Judeo-Christian heritage, our fourth source, that calls us to love our neighbors as ourselves. Another thing I love about our faith is the wisdom we gain from science and reason, our fifth source, which has deepened and widened my understanding of the cosmos in really wild ways. Without the sensibilities of scientists, agnostics, and atheists among us, I would be lost in grandiose illusions of God. I'll never forget an older man who was new to our faith taking part in a new to UU session I was leading. Right in the middle of the session, he got up and he stamped his hand on one of those long plastic tables, and he said to everyone, "You mean I can be Jewish, gay, an atheist, and a UU?" "Yes," I said, "you can." He sat down and he started weeping. You know, it took him 70 years to find a place where he belonged, but he found it. And we can't forget our sixth and last source, spiritual teachings of earth-centered traditions, an afterthought, which is why it's not in the gray hymnal, yet provides the most important and pertinent wisdom of our times, our honoring, respect, and care of our great Mother Earth. There you have it, the wisdom of our faith, all wrapped up in our principles and purposes. But there's more. For me, the most powerful aspect of our faith is you, being in a community. Because in community, we learn how to be lovers, not haters, listeners, not judgers. Whether it's being moved through stories and messages shared recently by Reverend Tricia, Morris Earl, Johanna Nichols, and Elio Farley over the past few months, or feeling connected in intimate gatherings like small group ministry, circle suppers, vespers, lunches at Eastview, open mic choir, sangha, and more. This being together with open minds and hearts creates portals into wisdom. This is risky business. The risk of being present and vulnerable with each other. But that is what may save us. It has saved me. You move my heart into a holy place. Sometimes wisdom comes when we risk opening ourselves to the needs and concerns of others. I know some folks on the Caring Network have been doing a lot of that. I experienced that a few months ago here in Middlebury when I spent a few hours with an unhoused person seeking shelter in the dead of winter. He was my teacher. He made me wiser and more loving. I'm struck by the poem Community by Denise Levertov. Just when you seem to yourself nothing but a flimsy web of questions, You are given the questions of others to hold in the emptiness of your hands. Songbird eggs that can still hatch if you keep them warm. Butterflies opening and closing themselves in your cupped hands, trusting you not to injure their scintillant fur, their dust. You are given the questions of others as if they were answers to all you ask. Yes, perhaps this gift is your answer. Can we experience the questions of others as a gift of wisdom? Can we approach one another with empty hands and with our hearts in a holy place? We choose to be together on Sunday mornings because experience has taught us that we need one another. We need companions in the work of love and justice because we understand our interconnectedness. We need to be reminded week after week how precious and fragile life is. We need encouragement so we do not become lost in our hopelessness and helplessness in these troubled times. Our faith offers us the wisdom that can keep us centered and sane. It's risky business. But Unitarian Universalism has survived and thrived at the edge of risk for more than 700 years in Europe and 300 years in this country. Our faith has defined itself in terms of risk, living on the edge, in the fringe, on the frontier. We were part of the far-left radical Reformation dissenters from the Roman, Lutheran, and Calvinist churches. People risked their lives, were imprisoned, burned at the stake, fighting for our faith. Although at this moment in history, it is not necessary or likely that we will die for our faith, it is imperative, as Olympia Brown said more than 100 years ago, that we stand by this faith, to work for it, to sacrifice for it. So I ask you, dear congregation, my teachers of wisdom, to join in our annual stewardship campaign if you have not yet pledged. Pledge as much as you are able so we can pay our staff what they need and deserve, maintain these buildings, provide the programs and services that cultivate love, support an intern who will bring wisdom through community ministry, and ultimately spread the good news of our faith. I leave you with an excerpt from a letter the Winchester, New Hampshire congregation wrote in 1903 to celebrate the 100-year anniversary of the Winchester profession, which is a universalist statement, which can be summarized as, we believe there is one God whose nature is love. But this is an excerpt from this letter, written in 1903. Dear children of 2003, I charge you to be supporters of this dear church, to never fail to keep alive the sacred fires of our faith, to keep the risky fire of commitment burning for all people who need desperately the wisdom of Unitarian Universalism now and in the times to come. Blessed be. Amen. In the teal hymnal, which Ronnie is running to get, I don't know. When our heart is in a holy place, number 1008, the words are on the screen. invite you to stay standing. Maybe if you feel comfortable holding someone's hand, you can do that. Our closing words are by Lebanese American Yehiel Gibran. Keep me away from the wisdom which does not cry, and the philosophy which does not laugh, and the greatness which does not bow before children. I invite you to sit down and listen to the postlude. Thank you. Where's my mic?